Well, there's a celebration in Beijing today. Fireworks, lasers, lights, and thousands of dancers mark the 60th anniversary of communist rule in China. Top party officials and hundreds of thousands of spectators watched the spectacular display of national wealth and confidence. This show followed a huge parade that showed off China's military might, including missiles believed to be capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Last night in New York, the lights on top of the Empire State Building were red and yellow, apparently to pay tribute to China and to a nation with missiles believed to be capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Contributor Bob Thompson was with us from New York last night, and he found the tribute in his city disturbing.
Are you kidding me? Do they honor us for our birthday? You know, we had a bicentennial a while back. You think the Chinese were out in the middle of Tiananmen Square shooting off bottle rockets and running around with sparklers? Of course not. They were killing people in Tiananmen Square and beating up on the Dalai Lama. And whatever. You want to be a communist? That's fine. But we don't have to celebrate it over here. I mean, it's insane. We're celebrating the birthday of communist China. I mean, it blows my mind. And especially in New York City, it blows it even more.
All right. A couple of you reacted to Bob's comments. Someone with the alias Bringer of D said, everyone is afraid of China's military might, and that includes the U.S., whether you like it or not. And Miller's Extreme said, red and yellow are the universal colors of our fire departments. Use this against them in honor of the firefighters that lost their lives in 9/11. It's not their day, it's ours. Joining us is nationally syndicated radio host Spencer Hughes. Hey, Spencer.
Hey, Fred, how's it going today?
Good, thanks. I think the Chinese should be allowed in their country to celebrate any way they want. But why would they pay tribute to them the way they did in New York?
Well, I like that idea that person had about paying tribute to the firefighters, but we know that's not really what it's about. It's about the 60th anniversary of this communist regime. I've been thinking about this one over and over again, and I actually thought, Fred, in the beginning, it had to be an Onion story, something totally made up. Doesn't it seem like a spoof? I mean, you wouldn't think this is happening in the United States of America, let alone the Empire State Building. And the excuse I'm hearing is that they've done it for Canada, they do it for Australia. And I go, yeah, but last time I checked, Canada and Australia aren't communist regimes. They haven't been responsible for the deaths of tens of millions of their citizenry. It is the most absurd thing I've seen in a long time.
You know, as I thought about it, I thought, well, I know what the issue is. Obviously, New York has borrowed a lot of money from China. And this is one of the ways they have to make good.
Yeah, really, exactly. I wish they'd lit it up green every day of the year for money. Wouldn't that be great? It's nice when they do it for red, white, and blue for Independence Day, and they do it for blue for the police department. But I cannot understand. This is more of that moral relativism, by the way, that all countries are equal, Fred. It doesn't matter what nation we're honoring. And that's the problem with honoring nations. By lighting up the building, is that someone's going to be left out. I mean, are we going to have Iran next? The Iranian flag's colors up there? Where are we going to stop here?
All right. Everybody is trying to make their point here in the battle to get health care legislation passed. I don't know if you heard about this. I'm going to show this first, then I'll get your reaction here, Spencer. Alan Gray said a Democrat out of Florida pled his case to the extreme.
If you get sick, America, the Republican health care plan is this. Die quickly. That's right. The Republicans want you to die quickly if you get sick. Now, the Democrats have a different plan.
Okay, now I did not see the words die quickly in anyone's proposal. I understand the man is trying to make a point. How incredibly tacky and insensitive was that, Spencer?
Oh, amazingly so. The good thing is if we die quickly, we don't have to hear any more of that speech, I guess. But this is typical stuff, Fred. It's typical playbook from the Democrats. The Republicans are out to kill old people, starve children, wipe the homeless people off the face of the earth. This is typical scaremongering. And a comment that came right after that was when he equated this to the Holocaust. He called it a Holocaust in America because tens of thousands of Americans supposedly die because of lack of health care specifically. And he equated that with one of the biggest atrocities ever committed upon humanity. It was outrageous.
I understand the man is standing there, and I understand he's trying to make a point, and he's playing to the gallery. But when you hear things like that, don't you just scratch your head and say, will they ever figure this out? Is there ever a way for everybody to come together? Because that kind of thing is just counterproductive.
It is counterproductive. I love it because of my philosophies. I think the more he speaks and others like him speak, the healthcare initiative is going to have a 10% approval rating pretty soon. I think, by the way, Fred, people are talking about censuring him and stuff. I don't want to go that route. I think these guys should shoot their mouths off any way they want and let the voters decide on Election Day. Let them remember these clips. But I don't think they should be punished for speaking out like that.
Well, you talked about maybe they want to censure him and things like that. Here's the deal. The Republicans demanded an apology, so this is what it turned out to be.
Well, I would like to apologize. I would like to apologize to the dead. For the sake of America, for the sake of those dying people and their families, I apologize to the dead and their families that we haven't voted sooner to end this Holocaust in America. I yield the rest of my time.
And we're all thankful he did, because that was more than enough
absolutely.
from him. He went back to the Holocaust line again.
It's outrageous. I mean, I don't know where all the outrage is. Do you? I haven't heard. I know a lot of people are ticked off by this, but I don't know how this guy gets away with bringing up something that's slaughtered. I mean, Adolf Hitler slaughtered millions and millions and millions of people, over 6 million people. And to equate that with, I think he said 44,000 Americans that died due to lack of health insurance. I want to know how many of those are illegal aliens too, Fred. I want to know the circumstances. I don't believe on the face of it that many people dropped dead in America because they weren't covered.
Well, he took a big swing and finished with a mighty whiff trying that. What's worse here, what he said or Joe Wilson?
I think what he said is far worse, and that's the interesting double standard, too, is that everybody went after Joe Wilson for the "you lie" comment, and technically he was wrong right where he blurted it out, and I never supported him interrupting the president like that. But I think his argument was much more based in reality than any of these comments about the Holocaust and stuff like that.
Spencer, I've got 30 seconds. What was the hot button topic on the radio today?
Oh, boy, we talked about Afghanistan. You poll out showing that the majority of Americans still think it's important in the war on terror, and 50% of Americans don't think the president is doing an adequate job fighting that war. So it's very interesting. Afghanistan, a hot button issue. Again, we've got more soldiers dying than we ever have before, and they say a new plan is several weeks away. I don't know what they're waiting for.
Yeah. All right, Spencer, nice job as always. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks a lot, Fred.
All right, take care.